Who's there? What's going on? Who's there? Enemy sighted. What's going on? Enemy sighted. Requesting back. It's the enemy. I need that. What's going on? Respond. Communications with the first floor, Strade, have ceased. Who's there? I got him. Send reinforcements. I got him. Send reinforcements. It's the enemy. I need help. Dispatch an additional unit to Strade. Don't allow the subject to get away.
Be careful, there are claymore mines around there.
Who is this?
Stealth equipped claymore mines, invisible to the naked eye. Use the mine detector.
Identify yourself.
Just call me Deep Throat.
Deep Throat? You mean from Shadow Moses?
Mr. X, then.
Mr. X now, is it? Why would it matter if I called you Deep Throat?
Never mind about that.
Why did you contact me?
Let's just say I'm one of your fans.
Colonel, someone calling himself Mr. X just contacted me. Do you know anything about it?
No, and whoever it wasn't a burst transmission. The transmission was sent from within the big shell.
He called himself Deep Throat at first. Do you think...
I caught that part too, but the possibility of it being true is none. Gray Fox was the one who used that alias in Shadow Moses, and he's dead.
Is it an enemy trap?
Could be. Exercise extreme caution. Raiden, log into the node first. Strut F's node is in a small room in the southwest block of B1. Make doubly sure you stay out of the enemy sight. If the radar goes offline, the sensor is useless. The C...
Looks like the enemy sentries have the defensive perimeters of each strut covered. You'll be safe as long as they don't radio for more men, but if you're spotted, run for it. Find a good concealment and wait until the backup leaves. You won't be able to defuse the bombs while you're being chased down, believe me.
There are still bombs in that area that haven't been disposed of. Search carefully. Strut F has a solid makeup, with areas that can't be accessed simply by walking. If you jump off from the top, there should be an area that you can access.
Return to your positions. Increase security.
Don't even think about searching for the bomb while looking over your shoulder for the... Raiden, don't ever turn your back on that Olga woman. Olga Gerlukovich, daughter of Colonel Sergei Gerlukovich, ex-GRU and former Spetsnaz commander. She's the leader of Colonel Gerlukovich's private army that's been wandering around the Big Shell. Those men were gathered by Colonel Gerlukovich. Following his death, she inherited his command and now exercises full control. Her father's name was widely respected throughout the old Soviet regime, and he was the goal of just about every military man.
Why would a respected soldier become a leader of those cutthroats?
The collapse of the Republic resulted in a lot of unemployed soldiers. Most found themselves suddenly cast out into the civilian world, hopelessly lost. The colonel took these men in. He organized a mercenary army and led his men from battle to battle in various disputed regions around the world, hoping that one day he would rebuild his homeland. Rumor has it that during the Shadow Moses incident, he planned a rendezvous with Liquid Snake's men and assist in their uprising. I assume that the revolt figured into his reconstruction plans for the Soviet regime. I also heard that Ocelot, Liquid's right-hand man, was an old friend of the colonel's back in the old days of the Soviet Union. In any case, Olga inherited her father's military genius and has become a force to be reckoned with. She was born and raised on the battlefield, and she's as tough as she looks. Not my ideal choice for a date.
You sound like you've met her.
No, I haven't had the pleasure. Just remember what I said. Don't turn your back on her.
Rose, no comment?
About?
I've killed someone.
Jack, it's a
Not a
battlefield.
chance. My opponents are living, breathing human beings. This isn't like the VR training. They have bodies. They have had lives. I took all that away from them.
But you've got no choice if you want to survive.
And yet, maybe because of the VR training, I can't help but try and block out that reality. It's the only way I can manage to fight.
Jack.
What?
I don't care what it takes, just as long as you come back alive. Do whatever it takes, please. Just come back in one piece.
Okay.
Nothing here. The situation is normal. All clear.
Pull.
It was nothing. All clear.
There was nothing wrong. Everything is all right.
It was nothing. All clear. What was that just now?
Stop, this is happening. Jack, answer me. Jack, Jack!
No sign of the missing man. Nothing else to report. The situation is normal. All clear.
I got you. Send reinforcements.
Jack, what's going on? Answer me! Jack, Jack!
Jack, do you remember the day we met?
I'm kind of busy right now, Rose.
You're right, sorry.
I do remember. It was right after I transferred to New York. There were all these tourists around you in front of the Federal Hall.
A group of middle-aged Japanese ladies came up and asked me which building it was that King Kong was climbing in the movie. I said it was probably the Chrysler Building, and then you showed up and started mouthing off. You were like, no, it's the Empire State.
I said the Chrysler Building was in Godzilla.
We started arguing, and I forgot all about the tourists. I was insisting that I was right, and you were doing the same. The next thing we knew, the Japanese women had gone away, and we ended up going to the Skyscraper Museum to see who had the better recall.
We argued all the way to Battery Park.
And for nothing.
Since the museum was closed, we went our separate ways from the museum. And then I found you again by coincidence out in the base corridor.
An amazing coincidence that we were actually working at the same place.
That night we went up to the top of the Empire State.
It was so beautiful. I could look down on the Chrysler Building from 120 stories above ground.
I felt overwhelmed. I didn't care anymore who was right.
And that was our first date.
We watched King Kong in your apartment a bunch of times that night. Didn't sleep till morning. If it weren't for that coincidence, we wouldn't be together.
I know. I'm sorry, Jack. I'm taking up your time again.
What?
Take care.
What's going on? Respond. Trouble in the FA connecting bridge. Check it immediately.
It's the enemy! I need help!
No. No! Jack, please answer me! Jack!
There's somebody there. There's somebody there.
Freeze!
Raiden, are you all right? Answer me! Raiden!
No one's gonna leave a bomb in a place that easy to reach. It would be more worthwhile to search convoluted areas that can't be reached simply by walking.
This is Raiden. The C4 found in Strut A has been frozen and disposed of. Explosives were planted in the pump room on the first floor.
Good work. Only one more left to go.
This is Pliskin. Do you read me, Pete?
I'm here. What's up?
Raiden, you need to hear this too.
I'm listening.
I checked out the bottom of Strut H for you, Pete.
Wait, what's this about?
I asked Pliskin to look around. Knowing Fat Man, I can't shake the feeling that all the bombs so far were just wrong.
So did you find anything?
Yeah, a hell of a lot of C4s packed into the bottom of the strut. Pete called it right.
I knew he had the real thing up his sleeve.
So all the other ones were dummies?
No, they're a threat, all right. But the detonation wouldn't be enough to destroy the entire shell. But the C4s Pliskin found would inflict serious structural damage.
That's not the bad news either. These are sensor-proof.
What?
New model, I guess. The ionization sensor can't detect them. The whole thing is sealed tight to prevent vapor leak, and there's no trace of that cologne signature. Pete, looks like he fooled you.
Yes.
But you managed to find the thing anyway.
It was sheer luck.
Bombs that are invisible to the sensor?
Any ideas, Pete?
Are there more out there?
I'll go see for myself.
You can't move fast enough.
He's right. I can try the spray from a distance.
Hold on. There's something not right about this one. I can feel it.
Well, Pete, should I come back and get you?
No, there's no need. Raiden, you have one left to go, correct?
Right, except for those scentless ones.
How about you, Pliskin?
I have 2 left, not counting this one.
Okay. It'll have to be me. I have the level 4 card that'll get me into Shell 2 in any case.
You'll never make it. With that bad leg of yours, they'll spot you for sure.
That won't happen. I can walk just fine. I can even run.
What do you mean?
That bomb 5 years ago, I messed up. Even with all my experience, I lost it. And a church was lost in the explosion. All those kids playing nearby, too. These past 5 years, I've lived a lie.
Lied?
Yes, lied. I didn't lose my leg in the explosion.
That's going a bit too far.
So many dead. All because of my mistake. All I could think about was hiding from the crime, shielding myself from the public outcry. I wanted people to be sorry for me, for my weakness. I faked being a victim myself because I couldn't bear to face the families of the real victims. This is no prosthetic. I can keep my footing on catwalks and hike over deserts. I lived my lie so well I haven't even answered to myself for my sins. It was supposed to be a shield, and it's become a shroud instead. I've killed my soul by playing the victim. Instead of protecting me, it's made my life even more hellish.
What good can that do the victims?
I know. I'm a coward.
Hey, Pete.
God forgive me. I can walk with my own 2 feet, and I need them to stop Fat Man. His crimes are also mine. One of omission and arrogance. No one should teach the skills I taught him without a clear conscience. This is the only way I can diffuse my own sins.
I get you, Pete. That one's all yours. You got it, Raiden?
I understand.
Pete, I've taken care of guards in struts G and H of Shell 2. I wouldn't recommend you go into any of the other struts.
I owe you one.
I'll get back to freezing the baby bombs then.
You do that too, Raiden.
I'm on it.
I'll have the radio with me if you need to get in touch. Just don't ask for Peg Leg Peter. He's gone for good.
Raiden, leave the odorless C4 on strut H to Stillman. Your job is to dispose of the C4s left on Shell 1. Locate every last one.
Raiden, like I said before, there's a huge load of C4s at the bottom of strut H that won't show up on the radar. The old man's right. There's got to be the same thing in Shell 1. Watch your back.
What do you know about that strange woman?
You mean Fortune? She's the Dead Cell leader. Her real name is Helena Dolph Jackson, known to her friends as Lady Luck.
Lady Luck?
Yeah, she got the name because bullets seemed to veer away from her in battle.
Oh.
People have heard her say that her fortune in battle was payback for the lousy luck she's had in life.
Lousy luck?
The death of her father, the Marine commander, the conviction of husband and Dead Cell leader Colonel Jackson. These events were followed by her mother's suicide, the loss of a husband, and the idea of a convict in the family apparently took her over the edge. Fortune was 3 months pregnant at the time, and the shock of her mother's death led to the loss of her child. Add to this her husband's death in prison a few months later, and to sum it up, in the 6 months after her father's death, she lost her family and everything that mattered in her life.
Jeez, she's had it rough.
Yeah,
That's
the thing
exactly
is,
it.
she didn't grieve long. Instead, she joined the military.
Now why is that?
Do I look psychic? My best
exactly
guess
it.
is revenge. I heard that she firmly believed that her husband was framed. Anyway, by the time she came out of basic training, she'd proven many times over that she was gifted with an unusual streak of luck. In fact, some say she sold her soul for it.
Her soul?
Her uncanny luck earned her a reputation that led to her appointment as the head of her husband's unit, Dead Cell.
Jack, is that you? I can't believe it. Stillman's prosthetic leg
Definitely
was
not.
all a big lie.
Don't be too hard on him, Rose.
But he's got no
That's
right
going
to
a
go
bit
around
too
pretending
far.
he's got a prosthetic leg. That's an insult to people who really can't walk.
Everyone's got
going a
their
bit
own
too
reasons.
far.
Sometimes you've got no choice but to lie.
You're right. I guess it is necessary sometimes.
What a weirdo.
Rose?
It's nothing. Well, see ya.
somebody there?
Enemy sight. Request.
Freeze! I have the last C4 frozen. There's nothing showing up on the sensor now.
Good work, Raiden.
You're way ahead of me, kid. I still have one to go.
How's your bomb, Peter?
It's a bomb, all right. Sealed C4, and in huge quantities.
You think there's another one in Shell 1?
For sure. Somewhere at the bottom of Strut A.
Why are you so certain?
If this bottom section of the strut is demolished, Shell 2 will be well on its way to destruction.
You mean that Shell 2 will actually sink?
Not immediately. There'll still be 5 struts left. But if Shell 1 loses a strut at the same time, it'll be a very different story.
Definitely
The big
not.
shell's structural integrity depends on a very exact balance. If both shells lose a strut each, the whole structure will tear itself apart under its own weight.
What do we do?
I have a sensor that can locate even those scentless C4s. It makes combined use of a neutron scintillator and a hydrogen bomb detector.
You brought that stuff with you?
Of course. I made the calibrations while I was in the pantry.
Does it work?
I just tested it, and it definitely responds. But the best I can do is a sound beacon, not the radar.
Sound?
The shorter the interval between beacons, the closer the target.
I get you.
There's another one in that pantry I was in. You can go back and get it.
It's all yours, Raiden.
I'm going to study it some more and see if the freezing process will work. Don't touch the other one until I say so.
Okay. I'll stand by until you radio in.
Raiden, go pick up the new sensor Stillman told you about. The one that can detect odorless C4s. Head for the kitchen off Strut C's mess hall. That's the room Stillman was hiding in, and he's left the sensor there for you.